Hello, hello, hello. Wait a minute. Let me get it right. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening. Happy Monday. This is all pain here. I'm back. I'm still getting over what I had, whatever the hell it was last week. So hopefully everybody finds this in good health. And Thanksgiving week is right upon us. I got to figure out what I want. Well, I know what I want to cook. So we're going to have a good Thanksgiving. I know how to I know my way around in the kitchen. So I'm going to have a good time. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Black Man Unfiltered Network. You're here with your favorite baby boomer. We're gonna keep it light today. No politics today. So welcome aboard, everybody. Just come in and say hello and whatever the hell you got to say. And I got a couple of things out there. So you guys are gonna help me through this. So uh, I don't like to. I don't really over talk about the I do relationship stuff, but this one is going to be a no malice, no bad attributes towards women or men. We should have a good time today. What's going on, Loss? What's happening, man? Keep throwing that music out there. Yeah. Other than that, so we're going to get started. We're going to compare and contrast two women who are out there, just like an outline, who are looking for love. They're looking for men in their lives, husbands, and there's a sister that, typical. Yeah, we'll show you a video of her saying what her requirements are for the man, that she wants. And then there's a white lady out there talking about what her requirements are. And one, I think, is going about it in a, I guess, not as deliberate as the other. Her intentionality might not be more than just a conversation behind the wheel of a car. And the other one is going all out to try to find a dude that she could share her life with. Now, the fact that one of the ladies is going all out doesn't mean the other one is not as uh, desirable or desired to have a guy in her life. It's just that she probably didn't think about how far she should go on the internet streets to find a man. But this other lady, you know, she's going all out. So you could tell me which one you think I'm talking about is more intentional than the other. And so we're going to go through it. I'm going to have some questions, and you guys could tell me about the context clues that you see and some of the ones that I see. And because all that you see, all that it's not all that meets the eye to either one of them, especially the first one, because we're going to start with the sister first, of course, and we're going to play a video of her saying what her requirements are for a guy, and then we're going to have a few questions as to what we see from what she says. So I'm going to let it play through first, and but before we get started, I think most women, when they get ready to settle down in the modern era, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, this is pretty much after they slutted it out as much as they could. And that varies from woman to woman. But at some point when they grow up, they say, "Oh shit, now I want to settle down with a guy." So, but they've probably had a series of relationships that I'm going to play for you right now before we get into the two ladies. So this is just a little segue into it. And this is just the way I see it. This is when they're free, and this is when love is flowing, and nobody gives a shit, maybe regrets later on. But this is what, so we could talk about this little video I will show you guys. So I'm going to share this with you, and then we're going to get going from there. Okay.
We met in the twilight, where the secrets roam, caught up in laughter, feeling so close to home. No strings attached, but the chemistry is real. Every touch, every glance, it's a part of the deal. When the night falls, my heart starts to race. Friends with benefits, but it feels like more. Caught in the rhythm, can't stop the score. The silence between us, my love starts to bloom. With every heartbeat, I can't leave this room. You whisper sweet nothings while I'm lost in your haze. In the warmth of the moment, I'm caught in your gaze. We said we were casual, just living the life. But the way that we move, it cuts like a knife. A dance without rules, yet you play it so right. Friends with benefits, but it feels like more. Caught in the rhythm, can't stop the score. Silence between us, my love starts to bloom. With every heartbeat, I can't leave this room. So let's make a pact, my heart's on the line. In this space of passion, promise I'll be fine.
All right. I just thought I'd throw that out there because at some point, having friends with benefit is not enough, right? It's no longer enough. You're going to want more out of life, more out of your relationships, other than, somebody getting up and leaving in the middle of the night because they got other obligations. So what do you do? How do you look for, how do these ladies look for love in their lives? And how serious are they going to be to look at him? So we're going to start with the sister, and we're going to let her go ahead, and we're going to take a look at some things that if she can give us some clues as to what she's looking for and whether she deserves what she's looking for. So we're going to start out. Of course, I got this from TikTok, and the very first pass through, I had some thoughts about this lady, and I don't know if they were fair until I started to look a little deeper. So let's go ahead and get that queued up, and then we'll come back. All right. So we're going to get this queued up. Going to get her queued up, and then we'll go ahead and share her. All right.
Been awake for 24 hours and I had a 10-hour drive, so I had a lot of time to think. I'm single because the man I want is trapped in a Tyler Perry movie. I mean, I didn't think I was asking for too much, but like, I would love to have somebody that's like over 6 foot, dark skin, beard, no kids, house, own car, good credit, washboard abs, be able to pick me up, fine as hell, pretty smile, good hygiene, pretty teeth, big D and a big wallet, and generous, also emotionally intelligent, educated, and loyal. I personally don't think that I'm asking for too much. And I mean, I put it out there into the universe and they said lower my standards. So I said, okay, maybe he could have one kid. And then I just didn't know if that was still enough. I still have faith. He's out there somewhere. I'm not going to lower my standards, and I'm not going to give up faith.
All right, so we're gonna play it one more time. And I did have some questions, and I don't know what you guys got from that, but the first time I listened to it, sounded like the typical, and this is the who I consider the black woman. She's a little ambiguous, but she's got sister vibes to me. All right, so we're gonna go through her thing again, and let's just kind of ask questions after this one about what we think about her on the surface. Okay, about what she's asking for, because it sounds typical to me, right? Just a random woman behind the wheel of a car wanting the most heavenly man. Oh, but is she a woman worthy of that kind of guy? But let's start it again.
So I've been awake for 24 hours, and I had a 10-hour drive. So I have a lot of time to think. I'm single because the man I want is.
All right. So the first context clue that I got from her is when she said she was single, right? She didn't say, I'm a single baby mama, I'm a single mom. She said, I'm single. And then she moved on. Like most women today who have kids, when they say they're single, they say, I'm a single mom. Like it's a flex, like, somehow it elevates them. So she just said she was single. So I assume that she doesn't have any children. I went looking for that, but I'm assuming she's childless, which to me is an absolute plus. If you're looking for a top tier guy, you need to offer the fact that you're coming without extra baggage. That's what I say. That's what I look for, because I dealt with baby mamas when I was out there in the world looking for a woman, and nobody wants to say it, or people are starting to say it more. It's better when the woman doesn't have any children, and neither should you.
Trapped in a Tyler Perry movie. I mean, I didn't think I was asking for too much, but like, I would love to have somebody that's like over 6 foot, dark skin, beard, no kids, house, own car, good credit, washboard abs, be able to pick me up, fine as hell, pretty smile, good hygiene, pretty teeth, big
Uh,
D, and a big.
all right. So again, the washboard abs, being able to pick her up, that's not bad prerequisite. Halfway decent looking and all that. Of course, the big dick thing is something that a lot of sisters will say, right? And they always want to throw that in there. Whether they can handle one or not is another story, but they always like to throw that in there. And we could compare and contrast with the white girl if she asks for a big dick when we get to her. But so let's finish.
Big wallet and generous. Also,
Okay, big wallet. Yeah, of course. That's another kind of fantasy, right? She wants a baller. So what percentage of men is she really looking for? And is she worthy of a 5 to 10% man?
emotionally intelligent, educated.
And I can't stand when women say emotionally intelligent, okay? A man wrote the goddamn book, not a woman, all right? And so, you guys don't even understand what emotional intelligence is because y'all say it too much. It's just like cliche, something that y'all have to say.
And loyal. I personally don't think.
All right. Now, she mentioned loyal. And so when we go through a little bit more of this woman and see what kind of profession she has, I wonder if the word loyal actually really applies or can apply, or is it like a spigot that she thinks she could turn off? All right. So I'm not negative against her because she has the right to have the list that she has. But the one thing that we haven't heard is what the hell is she going to give to a man like that in return? Is it some box? I hope she doesn't think that that's enough, especially if she thinks that man has all these things and she wants him to be loyal. Box is the last thing he really cares about, right? Because he can get it. So I just wanted to play that.
I'm asking for too much. And I mean, I put it out there into the universe and they said lower my standards. So I said, okay, maybe he could have one kid. And then I just didn't know if that was still enough. I still have faith. He's out there somewhere. I'm not going to lower my standards, and I'm not going to give up faith. So I've been away.
All right. So, I mean, fair enough, right? Fair enough. She has her requirements and all that kind of good stuff, and she should, Yes. What you got to say, Adissa? Yeah, okay. He knows how to treat a lady. He has to have all those things to know how to treat a lady. So a blue collar guy without all those things don't know how to treat a lady. I don't know if that's true. And so anyway, so let's so what I said is, I don't want to be unfair to this lady, right? So I had a couple of questions I had to ask myself, and I'm gonna just anybody, I'm gonna just throw the link in here. Anybody who wants to come up can. I just asked a few questions of myself about this woman, right? One, what's my first impressions? Well, I gave you my first impressions about her. I didn't want to be too hard on her. She has the right to want what she wants. You know, what do I think about how intentional she is for marriage? Well, right now, all we know is that she's willing to throw her requirements out while she's behind the wheel of a car. I don't know what kind of effort she's putting into actually finding somebody. You really can't tell by that one post, right? She might just be talking. Um, you know, how would I rate her from a scale of 1 to 10? Right. And listen, anybody could rate somebody else. Doesn't matter whether you're a 10 or not. So if I rated her, she's cute. I'd give her a solid 6, and I'm sure she can dress up. She might hit the seven plateau. She's cute. She's acceptable. For a guy like me, she's definitely acceptable. For the handsome, over the top man that she's looking for, maybe not. Her personality would have to make up the rest. Correct. If I'm walking on water, women at the way she described them, why would I settle for anything less than an 8? Right? Why? Unless she had a smoking personality and she was ready to be the kind of wife that I'm looking for. But do we get that from this sister just yet? I don't know. Is she asking for too much? Or is it, can somebody ask for too much? Absolutely, somebody can ask for too much. I mean, I could want a 10 if I was single. That doesn't mean I deserve one, or I'm going to get one, or could hold one for that matter. Right? All right. So let's look for some clues about this woman that maybe there it goes. I thought my camera went out. But anyway, so let's find out a little bit more about this honey. All right, so I said let's go to her IG and let's see what her IG tells us. Okay. If it pops up, there you go. I gotta share it. Let me share her IG with us. Get rid of that. Share her IG for a second. All right. So this is her IG. Right. These are really pretty much tame pictures, right? There's nothing I'm getting from her IG here that says, I'm slutting it out. This one shows you that she has some work done on her face. She's got a nice little rump there, but she doesn't overly. This one here might be something to look at, but she doesn't overly. She got a little girth on it. I think she lost some weight from this picture. That's for sure. Yep, there you go. So she works out. So we know a little bit about from her IG that she's not over the top. Her tits are not all out and all that kind of good stuff, right? So I think that's a plus, right? What do you think? Yeah, what you got to go? Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I hear you, Anissa. Yeah, she does want a perfect guy. Hey, I'm glad that was that's from your mouth to a whole bunch of man's ears on this about that, about the size of the Johnson. But looking at her IG, right? I said to myself, well, this lady's not over the top with her IG. She doesn't look thirsty at all. Okay. She doesn't look thirsty. Okay. And then we look at what she does. The sister is a travel nurse. She's a flight attendant. Okay. She's got a travel business and a beauty business, whatever. And so she's a woman of the world. She's been around the world. Peru, she golfs, she got Dubai, other places. This chick, and she's a veteran, right? So she is not your typical chick just sitting around. She's active. She's got a lot of shit going on. So I said to myself, well, what kind of guy uh, would marry a woman like this, right? And not be concerned about the fact that she's kind of a free spirit, right? She's all over the place. She doesn't look like a woman you could put in a bucket, right? Now, and who would be comfortable in the bucket, even for the man she wants. So I'm thinking about her list again of what she's looking for. The only thing again, there's a going thing that says maybe my internet connection's going in and out. There's a thing with men saying that women put all their requirements aside for the men that they want. So let's suspend that a little bit for today, right? Because it is true that most women will put all their shit aside for the man that they want. But is that necessarily true for the man that they want to marry? You know, uh, it's probably more true for the man that just want to have a roll in the hay to get banged out. That's probably more true. But I would imagine she's going to want some of those requirements for the man she wants to not, right? I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Right. So now that I looked at her IG page, I have a different opinion about what she said about her list. About the size of the man's Johnson, that's her preference. A lot of women say that, and whether but they don't get it. I don't know if that means for the rest of their life they're not happy, you know. But as far as the money is concerned, most women want more men who make more money than them. That's nothing atypical. That's a typical woman, right? No matter what the echelon is, most women want men who make more money than them, right? So that's nothing unusual. If he's good looking, I think these days a lot of women want men who are prettier than they are for some reason. So anyway, I don't know. So the only thing I got to say about her is, let me ask this question. I don't know. I don't have any problem with what she wants. It's a little over the top, but can a regular 9 to 5 guy satisfy the kind of woman on the move like her? And I really don't think so. Traditional 9 to 5 guy who pretty much wants